I like the music. It's just weird because so much of like what I do all the time is just music. You don't really think about what that you don't when you're playing. You don't think about what makes you. It's tough like to, or at least I don't. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I'll do something and it feels good, so I'll do it again. And it's pretty much it's kind of hedonistic kind of because so much of what you're doing. It's all just like you do something that feels good, so yeah, I'll keep it all the time. And you don't think like 12 hours a day. This is what I like about when I play the notes this way. So whenever I really maybe I should do that. Maybe it would make what I'm doing in my life or what I'm something to think passionate about. It's music. But I mean, I suppose. Like I love it when I do not just when I'm able to do something. For me, I guess I'm passionate about improvising, and that's why I do the music. It doesn't happen as much as I'd like it to yet, but when I'm able to do something that really sounds I'm just passionate about. I don't really know what makes that work, like connecting with people on an emotional level and connecting with people. But just when you're improvising and maybe by mistake, maybe by I guess that's one of the reasons why I first get that right. Started taking sociology and political science, and I mean it's almost like it's almost like I mean, and I'm sure there is a chemical reaction that goes through your body when you that idealistic that was great, making the world a better place. Endorphins get released into your blood, and that makes you happy. So it is kind of like a drug. I started just trying to figure out what the world was actually all about, like learning about people, learning about societies, and learning about how people interact, how we form our systems of living. I don't know. And it's different when you're playing by yourself, and you do something that sounds really good. It's different when you're there music than when you're on stage. Like I've said before, it sounds really good. The performer's it's just that emotional connection with the audience. And I'm sure it changes. That's from person to person because me, I like music. I don't know, whatever events should transpire to make me be creative like this. I just love it when you play something and you hear somebody communicating anything, then cheer, and it just really gets you off. I don't think the music necessarily. I guess you can't say the music it's an ego, but I think that any music that is beautiful, there's that music that has beauty, playing live, and that people enjoy, whether or not the composer but it's knew that they were creating it kind of thing. You're creating something beautiful. They still would have composed it keeping in mind what they liked to hear, that's one of the things, which comes from their socialization and their upbringing. I don't know. And it has an impact on people. There's also, listen to it. So for me, any music practice something that people enjoy is music that for months, was created with these ideas in mind of how people like scales and technique, and then you realize one day, and oh yeah, I've done this for so long. That's my passion. I've gotten better at it. My passion is just music, and it's people and how they interact. My passion. That's a real communicating with people. And my medium is music. A real moment when you realize that, because you train yourself just to practice and not think about it and just do it, knowing that eventually it'll permeate into your improvising and into your playing when you play live. But when you actually kind of sit back and think, oh yeah, I have improved a little bit, that's another thing that I love just about playing an instrument. And I know that everybody who plays an instrument or sings or works on something, anything that takes skill, you train for a while, and then you realize, oh yeah, I'm actually better at this than I was a little while ago. And it's a really nice feeling. Excuse me. I was just talking about how I didn't think. It's just frustrating when you have done classical music for so long and been like a little bit successful with classical music, but then like now that I want to do jazz, it's just like I know that I could be at a certain level right now if I had practiced and done it more earlier on, but now it's just frustrating because I can hear things that I can't play because I don't know the theory and I haven't done the technique, or pretty much just the theory, and it just takes practicing and faith that you have the ability to do what you want to do. But that's with every musician. They get frustrated that they're not as good as they think they can be, but you never get there. nobody ever gets as good as they want to be, because that's impossible. You can't learn everything there is to learn. But that's also kind of what's beautiful about music, is that and any art, is that you get that, there's that drive just to keep going, just because there's always something new that you can do. It's pretty much limitless. And there's always more you can learn about yourself, and there's always more that you can learn about talking or communicating your emotions to other people. So you just have to have faith that you can do it as well as you're going to do it. I've been writing music recently for a chamber group that I want to put together with 2 violas, violin, stand-up bass, flugelhorn, alto trombone, piano and drums, and that kind of idea with a, almost like a danceable feel, but also very classically influenced and very, very listenable. So I really want to get back into writing, more beautiful music instead of kind of hard, rocky, almost pop and flashy music. And it's interesting that now my musical tastes, I think it's interesting that my musical tastes are coming back to classical music. I don't know if that's because it's a more intellectual. I don't really think that it's necessarily more intellectual music, but it's just my musical tastes have come full circle, and now it's really great to be able to have had that classical experience through my parents, through my dad, who's a conductor, and then be able to apply it to all the music that I've listened to in the funk, jazz, improv, and now, since I love writing music, and that's where my real energy gets focused. Now that I've had all that experience with music, and I guess it's not a lot, but it's what I've had. Now that I've had all this experience with music, classical music, jazz, funk, just the fusion of all of them is really what I'm into right now, and that's kind of where my influences are. It's just in all these, everything is where your influences come from when you're a musician, especially jazz, because with improv, it's self-expression is the most important, and you just use the notes as a medium to express yourself like any other art. It's like painting or making film. It's all about emotional expression and how you communicate your ideas and how you communicate your emotions with the people that are listening or watching. And so in that sense, not even just music is your influence, but everything, like every experience that you have and everybody that you meet and everybody that you talk to affects your personality, which then comes out in your music. So especially if you're having a rough week where you're really stressed out and really tired, as I have been lately, that could come out in your music, and hopefully you can use it and turn it into something cool. But if you're having a great week, it's often so much easier to improvise and just be free, because you don't have anything else up in your head milling around to distract you. So it's really about every single experience that you have that influences your music, especially when you play jazz, or I should say improvised music, because to me it's just music composed and improvised, and they're both equally important and equally beautiful. And so I guess that's what I would say my real influences are, is just people and music that you listen to, and you take it and you use it and you play with it, and it comes out in your music. That's what your music is.